Let's do that again. Hello, I'm Judy, the organizer and creator at Rescue My Space. Welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, welcome to my channel. So today's video is a long-awaited video. It has been over a year and I'm finally gonna do it. So basically, in a nutshell, today's video, I'm gonna be showing you how to create an easy filing system so that your home is working for you. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So before we continue, make sure you like this video. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe below. So even though I'm going to be showing you how to create a filing system, you can of course alter it however you want to. It's important that you understand that your filing system should reflect your lifestyle. So just because I'm doing it a certain way doesn't mean you have to do it the same way, but at least it's a guide to help you get through this process because as we all know, this process can be a bit daunting. So with that said, let's get on with the video. Second cup of coffee. So let's start with the items and supplies you will need. One of the items you will need is a recycling bin or box, just a container that can hold all of your recycled items. If you have one, you will also need a shredder. If you are someone who shreds a lot of your documents, bring out your shredder. I personally don't have a shredder, but I do know the importance of them. If you're like me and you don't have to shred a lot of items, all you need to do is just blank out your sensitive information and then tear it up. That's what I do. Is it right? Don't know, but it works. You'll also need a label maker or a writing utensil. I personally am using my Dymo label maker, which I'm obsessed with, but anyone works. Some of the labels in my filing cabinet are either written out by me or I used a label maker to create them. It doesn't matter as long as it's easy for you to read. You're also gonna need a filing cabinet or something adjacent to that. Another option would be a desktop file holder, paper tray, an accordion paper organizer is also great. Really anything that can hold your files. So the material you'll need are hanging folders, file folders, labels or your folder tags. A lot of the tags or folder labels come with the folders and they're optional, but bins. Bins help me separate easily. The last item is sticky notes or post-it notes. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to break everything down into steps so it's easy to follow. So in step one, you're going to bring all of your paperwork, your documents, all the items you need to file in one place. So I personally am going to be using my desk, but you can use the floor. You can use your kitchen countertops. Literally use any space that's going to allow you to spread out because for some of us, we're going to have a lot of paper. So let's make this process as easy and as efficient as possible by bringing everything to one place so that we can sort at one time. So it's, what? Anywho, so yeah. What's wrong? I'm drowning in receipts. Wow, that's a lot. Yeah, I have a lot. Well, guess what? What? I have a solution for that. Why is she looking at y'all like that? So today's ad is brought to you by the Epson Rapid Receipt Scanner. I am so happy that I have this scanner in my life because it has changed the game for my small business. So the Rapid Receipt Scanner is an easy way to edit, to digitize, and to organize your invoices, your documents, and most importantly, your receipts. In my business, I have to hold on to a lot of receipts. And one thing that I dread the most is taking photos of it, sending it to my accountant, him then having to write it all in. It's just so much. So when I came across this scanner, I was like, what? This makes the process easy. Yes, I need it. And thankfully it has changed everything when it comes to all the paperwork in my business. So one of the best features that I love is that it automatically extracts data from receipts and invoices. And it also integrates into QuickBooks, TurboTax, and even Excel. So if you watched my previous Q&A, you heard that I use QuickBooks now. And the fact that the Rapid Receipt Scanner integrates with QuickBooks, again, game changer. Again, it turns paper documents into searchable and editable PDFs which makes it super simple for you to view, to edit, and to combine documents. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how to use it. It's really simple. So what you do is you load the document or documents. It does also allow you to scan different size documents, which again, chef kisses, and you press scan, and what it does is it feeds it through and it pops up on your screen. Simplicity at its best. And then you open it up and you have access to all the receipts and all the documents and all the invoices you've scanned. Because of the integration to QuickBooks, I no longer dread sending my accountant all of my receipts, and it also makes his job a lot easier. So as you know, I'm a small business owner, and because of the Rapid Receipts Scanner, my process to scan all my documents is just so much more efficient than it was before. And if you know anything about owning a small business, efficiency is key. I'm so happy to be bringing the Rapid Receipt Scanner to you guys. And if you're interested at all, you can check out the link in the description box below. Anywho, let's get back to Judy so she can continue telling you how to create your own filing system. So step number 2 is to create 4 different piles or categories. So the first pile or category is urgent. So basically these are items that you need to handle now or soon. The next pile is keep. These are items that you will need to hold on for a certain amount of time. The next pile is archive. These are items that you need to keep forever. And the last pile is recycle/shred. These are items that don't really fit in any of the categories, so they need to go. So step 3 is the decluttering phase. If you know anything about me, I love decluttering. Decluttering gets rid of all the nonsense you don't need to hold on to so that you can reveal the beauty, or so you can reveal all the paperwork that you do need to go through. So for all of your shredded items, it is now time to shred them. If you don't have a shredder, then again, mark off the sensitive information, and then tear them up in small pieces. I know, I do it that way. Honestly, my mom taught me how to do it that way and it worked. Why not? If you are someone who has a lot of items to shred, I would suggest taking it to an actual company that can shred it for you. It makes life so much easier and you just don't need to bother getting a shredder. I don't know. Personally, I think it's great for people who do have a lot of items to shred and you just don't have the time to shred it yourself and don't have a shredder. But if you do have a shredder, shred it all. For all items that don't need to be shredded because again, they don't have any type of sensitive information on them, then just recycle them. So items to recycle are magazines, coupons, paper, newspapers, just documents that don't have any sensitive information. So in step 4, we're gonna be focusing on the keep pile. Because you've already done this, you know exactly what sits in the keep pile. I prefer breaking down my keep pile into certain subcategories so that it's easy for me to find whatever I need in my keep pile or in my keep category. So for instance, tax documents sit in your keep category. You can create a subcategory or subfolders for your tax documents according to each year your tax documents belong to. So if you have tax documents in 2017, that will be a subcategory 18, 19, 20. So you get it. Subcategories just make it a lot easier to find the particular document you're looking for. And with those subcategories, you're going to be using file folders. Or let's say your tax folder will be the hanging folder. So on your hanging folder, you will create a label that says taxes. And then in that folder, you'll have different categories or different folders in said category. If you do have a lot of subcategories that fit into that hanging folder and your hanging folder can't fit all of your subfolders, then you just create another hanging folder with the same name. So for instance, if you have tax documents that last from 2001 to 2015, and of course they won't fit into that one hanging folder, even though there are hanging folders that allow you to fit a lot of folders in it, you can just create another hanging folder that reads tax documents, and then you add the other years. Another example will be your home file or your home category. So in your home, there are different things that go into the home or that pertain to the home. Therefore, your hanging folder, your main category will read home, and then your subcategories, which will be your file folders, will then read the different things you want to sit inside of the home category. For instance, you can have your repairs in one folder. You can have your maintenance in another folder. You can have your insurance in another folder. You can also have your appliances in another folder. You get what I mean? Again, home will be the main category, and then the subcategories will be everything that pertains to your home. So step 5, we're going to be focusing on our archive piles. So your archive piles are documents that you will be keeping forever. So these documents or papers include your birth certificate, your social cards, a death certificate, maybe your marriage certificate, really all those items that you just need to hold on for a long time. It's important that you make sure that any documents or paper that sits in this folder or this pile is extremely cared for and protected, because these are sensitive items that you need to keep for a very long time, thus forever. Therefore, you don't want it to be lost or stolen. So some people do like to keep these items in a safe. If you don't have a safe, I would suggest keeping it in your file cabinet or keeping it in a place that you have access to and basically no one else. Whichever way works for you is what will work for you. I don't think there's a wrong or right way to do it. I personally will just add these to a hanging folder and put it away in my cabinet. But if you do want to separate them according to maybe the members in your family, I will then bring in file folders, label each file folder the name of the family member, and then place the items that belong to that family member in that file folder. So therefore, the hanging folder will be named maybe personal or sensitive information or just important. And then in that hanging folder, there will sit a file folder named Judy and Tony and Sabria. You get it? Just the members' names that the items belong to. So in step 6, we're gonna now focus on your urgent pile. So your urgent pile, as mentioned before, are things that need to be handled either now or soon. So those items are usually your bills, maybe an invite, maybe a form you need to fill, a prescription you need to call in. For these items, they can be filed or organized in 2 different ways. You can either have them visible, therefore they will sit in some type of organizer that sits on your desk. There's many out there. You can add them to paper trays that have different sections. You can add them to a desk organizer, a wall organizer. If you're someone who needs your items visible, I would suggest having this outside of your cabinet so that you can attend to it and get it done, of course. But if you're someone who can frequent your file cabinet at least every day or every other day, I would suggest placing these items in a folder that says urgent or that says to do. You can also separate them depending on the priority or its urgency. What you can do is to name the hanging folder something like urgent or to do or weekly to do. And then the file folder can be named do now, do later, do in 1 week. You can make it either really specific or extremely broad. You just know that you have to frequently look at this folder every day or every other day so you can get the task done. So that's it. This is the way that I personally like to organize my filing system. Of course, you can be extremely detailed and add way more subcategories or categories to your filing system. But if you're someone like me who likes to create simple solutions, I would stick to what I presented to you today, or I would make it even more broad and decrease some of the subcategories that I created. So if you have any other questions, please let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to answer your questions. I will get to them as soon as I can. But as always, you already know what time it is. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so very much for watching this video. And as always, I'll see you soon. Bye.
Just pulled up to the house. Don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window.